All right, y'all, we about to run this one back, bro. MAGA wives leaving their MAGA husbands, man. Let's get into this one, but first, we got to do the housekeeping, bro. I need them hypes, man.
Hype me up.
You heard me? I need them. Don't y'all know I'm somebody's child, man? You gonna deny somebody's child them hypes, bro? Come on, man, for real, bro.
I divorced my husband because he became a QAnon MAGA freakazoid. And I divorce your husband, ladies. Leave your husbands if they're MAGA. I know you're going to put that online, and I love it, so thank you. And I think that's a really weird thing. Don't do that to other women, okay?
You subjectified
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you out.
Yeah, don't
You
touch
had
me.
a song talking about you love anal sex. You were just, no, please let me speak. If I just sit there and say that somebody's subjectifying
Oh, wow. That shit turned left real quick. Yeah, man. But listen, bro, let's be real, man. Ladies, man, you're really not attracted to your MAGA husband. You're not. You're just trying to pretend that you are. He might be paying bills and things of that nature, bro. You don't like that man for real.
I'm going to be very frank. White women leaving their husbands over ICE. How many things have you overlooked?
A lot.
I know the answer. I just want you to think about it.
Man, you know what I'm saying? You just, historically speaking, imagine all of the things that they ignored and overlooked in the historical context, man. Lynchings, rapings, mutilations, just all kind of messed up stuff. Look. Y'all mean to tell me that there is some woman out there that's extremely attracted to this young fella right here? Well, whatever. All right, y'all, let's play a game. If I lined up that guy and two other guys and said, let's play a game called Guess the Active School Shooter, which one would you choose? I'm choosing this dude right here every time, bro. Straight up.
Hi, I'm Courtney and I left MAGA. I was a huge Trump supporter back in 2015 and 16, and then C-19 hit in 2019. You don't look that big to me. And that's when I realized that the number one job of the president, to protect the citizens of the United States, he failed at miserably. Then came the election lies, the drama, J6, and it hit me. This guy does not care about us. All he cares about is himself. And listen, it is not easy changing your beliefs, veering off course, especially when that means telling your friends, your family, people that you've known your entire life that your views have changed, that you disagree with them, that your fundamental views are completely different, that you're unlearning things, that you're questioning them. You start to learn that it's not actually about Trump or MAGA. It's an entire belief system. And that's why organizations like Leaving MAGA are so important. It's a community to fall into. It's a safe space to land.
Leaving MAGA.
Oftentimes when you don't have anywhere else.
Yeah, bro, that's a very, very interesting thing she just said right there. There's a whole support group called Leaving MAGA, man. Hey, but you know what's crazy? MAGA is just a new name for an old face. That's all it is. It's just a new name for a movement that's always existed. There's always been in America, or at least the world, a group of people that won't keep their feet on the necks of a group of another people that they deem to be lesser than, or the government brainwashed them to think that these people are out to get them. When Mexico sends their citizens here, they're not sending their best, their brightest. That kind of rhetoric. It gets white people scared, man.
As someone who was raised MAGA, the sad reality is that a lot of white women only vote the way they do because of their husbands. And white women are a demographic of people that consistently, historically have voted against their own interests. If you are a white MAGA woman, I want to tell you right now, there's a high chance that your husband is probably cheating on you. Ooh. And if he's not doing it in the physical world, he's doing it in the online space. Most people who consume OnlyFans and other content are married. And here are some messages that I have gotten in my DMs on Instagram. This guy directly says that he hates his wife and he is trying to get me to send him explicit content or whatever. I don't do that, but point being, I like to talk to these men to see what is going on in their lives and where they live. And if I can, I will try to get a hold of their wives. Can't even tell you how common of a pattern this is and how many messages I get of married MAGA men trying to get me to engage in this work with them. So if you are a woman and you voted MAGA, be careful where you place your loyalty. It's always better to think for yourself than relying on him, because look what he's doing behind your back.
Hey, bro, look, I'm going to tell y'all like this, because I'm somebody's child and I want to be honest with y'all, bro. I found myself on 304 Talk one time, right? This was probably 2 years ago. 304 Talk. 304 means hoe, spelled backwards, just in case y'all don't know. Well, man, they got stories for days over there, bro. All that freaky stuff. Like when you hear about women doing what men do to them normally, to men, it's almost always a Caucasian dude. Yeah, girl, he wanted me to tie him up and and impale him with a 13-inch. It's a white man, bro. Them dudes is freaky, bro. She ain't lying. Straight up, man. Don't go to 304 Talk. Them women make so much money off white dudes, man. It's kind of sad, bro.
50% of my family is MAGA. The other 50% is not.
All right.
And my husband was one of those 50% back in 2023.
Oh, my God.
He voted for Trump 2 times. Yes, even after the whole January 6th thing. That was the day he changed his mind.
My birthday, January 6th, by the way.
But I want to tell you what it was like living with somebody who had such opposite opinions about the way the world is running and the way things could be and should be. It was actually quite horrible. And there was an entire topic that we were not allowed to discuss in our marriage, and that was politics. I'm not sure if anybody's going through that right now, but it was a really, really terrible time in our marriage where if I brought something up, it inevitably ended up in a giant fight where we were screaming at each other. We would retreat to opposite rooms, and it would take like a whole day to recover from the anger that we both felt. And I would like to blame the entire Trump administration for encouraging that kind of anger toward people. It certainly wasn't coming from the side that I was supporting, and I don't care what you say in my comments, it wasn't. That being said,
he was laying with the
when
enemy.
The smoke cleared, and after January 6th, my husband changed his way of thinking, and it was almost like the veil was lifted, and he saw what MAGA really stood for. But it was long and it was hard and it was awful.
That's
and actually, if you ask me now to point out the arguments that we had, I really couldn't tell you. I really think my brain blocked it out. I do not remember the fights, the actual fights, and what we were fighting over. I only remember the feeling. And the feeling was terrible, that some strange group of people that weren't living in my home were breaking up my marriage and coming between our great relationship. So if you're doing that right now, I'm sorry. I feel for you. And I hope you find a way out of it because it wasn't any fun.
Wow. So in other words, she had to threaten to take that cookie away from that boy. That boy like, you know what, man? Maybe Trump isn't the greatest after all. I mean, she kind of does feed me. She gives me a little cutty in there now and again. And on my birthday, she'll go downtown. And you know what, man? I'm going to denounce MAGA. God damn it. These boys are going pecans. I'll tell you what, though. When Trump took away Affordable Care Act, boy, I was madder than a homeless. I ain't gonna go into that joke, but that's fucked. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Every single time I see a white woman on this app say something like, oh my God, I finally broke up with my MAGA boyfriend, or I got rid of my MAGA husband. You know, I didn't know that that's what his political views were. I always thought that his political views aligned with me. I always ask, in genuine good faith, I say, hey, can I ask you a question? Is it fair to assume that you guys never spoke about politics? And almost 100% of the time, the answer is, oh no, like we weren't that political, like we didn't really talk about it all that much. And this is what I mean when I say, with my full chest, there is a sizable subsection of white women that actually don't give that much of a fuck. Because
you say a sizable section of them. Nah, I think at least 60. Honestly, bro. Have y'all heard white women talk? The ones who don't talk about politics on the internet. I'm talking about actual real white women. Bro, I've never heard a white woman talking about politics a day in my life. I've never heard women talk about politics at work a day in my life. I'm so serious, dog. They normally don't talk about this shit, man. So I agree with this. And I worked jobs where I was like maybe one or two of the only men there plenty of times. Preferred that way, actually. Won't be around you dirty ass. Anyway, but look, he right.
We want to sit here and say, oh, you know, this is what I believe politically, but then they don't hold their partners to task. It's like, oh, well, what are you? Well, you know, I'm socially liberal, and trailing off into an ellipses. And then they never ask them another question about it. It's like, that's not how you make sure whether or not your partner is a piece of shit. My girlfriend and I, we have lots of conversations about what's going on in the world because what's going on in the world is important to us. And if our political views didn't align, we would have known that very early on. But there are too many people out there that ask like 4 questions that like can barely even be considered questions, and then you never talk about it again. And then when it turns out that 3 years later, your boyfriend's racist and he loves Joe Rogan and he secretly voted for Trump 3 times in a row, and you're like, I never knew. You fucking knew because you didn't care. You wanted to be stupid. You wanted to be ignorant. You wanted to not know because he was 6'2" and handsome, and
I gotta call bullshit. You ain't never seen a 6'2", handsome white man that voted for MAGA. You ain't never seen that. All right, they probably do exist, but not that many of them, dog. They don't fit the avatar of the races that I know. Most of the racist dudes, they look like they can't get women. They look like they incels, and they look like they eat their boogers.
I'm sorry, but if the most beautiful woman in the world was like, hey, do you want to hang out sometime? And she was MAGA, she would physically disgust me. Because their behavior is disgusting. And I'm not saying all white women. I'm not talking about women that are trapped in abusive relationships. I am talking about people choosing to start relationships and never asking a single real hard question about their partner's politics, and then want to throw their hands up 2 years later, 3 years later, and be like, I never could have imagined. You never could have imagined because you never had a fucking conversation about it. That's why you never could have imagined. And then, oh my God, I can't believe he lied to you like that. Fuck every single person that engages in this behavior. I am not talking about all white women. Please, keep the bullshit out of my fucking comments. But there's a specific subsection of white women that are going into relationships and never doing their due diligence to find out who the human being is that they are letting inside their bed, that they are letting inside their emotions. And then they want to throw their hands up years later when it finally comes out. I'm sorry, do the work or shut the fuck up.
Hey, bro, excellent TED Talk, but I want to go back to that point you made, man. You said something very profound, and I disagree with it, honestly. I know male biology, right? So you mean to tell me, I don't know what his taste in women is, but let's just say his taste in women is what it is. And that woman just so happened to have on a whole bunch of MAGA apparel. And then suddenly the clothes disappear. You telling me that thing not going to be standing up at and not to get explicit, y'all. I'm just saying. The shit be sounding good in theory, but when it come down to it, bro, if I lock you up with a MAGA woman, in the room long enough and she ain't got no clothes on and you ain't got no clothes, y'all too adult, I feel like it's gonna go down, bro. I just don't buy that. They're like when white people are like, I don't see color.
Okay, MAGA men are about to lose their wives in record numbers. And I'm going to tell you why. You can believe me or not believe me. You can call me stupid. You can say it's liberal bullshit. I don't really fucking care. This is the truth, and you need to actually acknowledge the reality. And here's why you're going to lose your wives. Because we know everybody's turning on Trump. I mean, instantly turning on Trump. And whatever that one thing is that made your wives or your long-term partners turn on Trump, it could have been the Epstein files, or the way he treated immigrants, or starving children, being in financial control of the money, even though everybody knew that there was money in there. Everybody knew it was there, but they couldn't actually physically see it, and they didn't have the power and control. And realizing that the one that does control the money, if they even get the little bit pissed off at you, you don't get the money. You fucking go hungry. They see those patterns. So whatever that one thing was, they've now seen it and they can't unsee it. And that's how we broke from the patriarchy. Whatever the one thing is that women had personally in their life, they saw it and then they started saying, it's happening over there. It's happening over there. They realized it was the system. We all realized it was the system. And now your wives are now realizing that it's the system. They're seeing the behavior of Trump, whatever it was. And they're now opened up to how much he lies, how much he controls financially, how awful he is of a human being. And it's the behaviors that they're seeing. And they're seeing the exact same behaviors in you. And if they can turn away from Trump, the one that they held, they literally lost family for, some of them lost their jobs for it, they broken relationships for, they sure as hell will walk away from you, because it's not the person, it's the behavior. And they're now seeing how much your behavior was a detriment to them, how much they lost and gave up, how much you hurt them with your behavior. throughout your entire marriage. You're about to lose wives in record numbers because MAGA women are just now opening up to the patriarchy, are just now opening up to what abusive relationships or Christianity and the abuse of that indoctrination is. And you're about to lose your wives in record numbers.
Say, bro, somebody said white dudes that are evangelics. What's the word? Evangelical white dudes and stuff like that be knocking they wives' head loose in between the washer and dry and in between the cabinet and the refrigerator, bro. That's just what I heard through the grapevine, man. I heard and then the wife not gonna go. She's not gonna call the authorities. Nah. She gonna go in the kitchen and cook food with a black eye. It's kind of sad, bro. I'm somebody's child. I would never put my hands on a woman.
In 2021, I was dating an extremely MAGA man. Ew, I know, don't remind me, okay, I was very young and dumb. We went out one weekend and he ended up getting into this little altercation with this guy on the street when we were walking by.
All right.
The guy happened to be dark-skinned, right? And I break it up, I'm like, what are you doing arguing with this guy, what the heck? We were all drunk. And we walk away. He refers to this guy as the N-word. Hard R, by the way. And immediately I'm like, why are you saying that? He's like, oh, who cares? Like, he is one, blah, blah, blah. And then I tell him, like, did you know that I actually dated a black guy?
Oh, no!
Before you. He was my last boyfriend. And you would have acted like I freaking just told this guy that I was going to murder his family. I'm serious. He was so mad. He was so shocked. He was like, why didn't you tell me that? Oh my God, I can't believe you never told me you dated a black guy. And I'm like, I didn't realize that it was something I had to announce to you. Is that a problem? This man wore a MAGA hat literally 24/7. It was starting to like rip apart because he wore it all the time. Like I said, I was young, I was dumb, but it's just crazy to look at me now because I would never, ever date a MAGA man now.
Now, what was your reasoning for dating him? Because obviously you're not, I was about to say the word that's rhymes with started, but it starts with and then anyway, MAGA hat wearing boyfriend. You never thought to mention that you used to date a black guy? You know he wouldn't have liked that. You got over. You know, at the same time, I ain't feeling sorry for that dude, but I guarantee you, man, if I come across a white boy that's wearing a MAGA hat and I tell him that, yeah, man, that girl you dating right now, yeah, bro, she was like one of our favorites at our school. I went to all black school, by the way. Me and my partners used to love her. Boy, you know what he gonna do? He can go home and get a revolver and he gonna handle his business, dog. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, I agree with you on this one, girl. Let me say this. MAGA women, nobody's coming for your husband.
Oh, that's facts. Nobody want them boys, huh?
Nobody's coming for your husband. In fact,
not even you coming for your husband.
Attorneys right now, their phones are ringing off the hook. Did you know that? For women to divorce MAGA husbands. Guess who's not high on the list for getting a divorce? Liberal men and their women. And I know a lot of liberal men that carry and throw acts for sport. But you guys like to pretend like they're these like weak little beta men, when in reality, you're the weak men. You think you're this big alpha because you listen to these extreme right-wing bro podcasts and you get your information from Fox News and you live in this bubble where you think you're such a badass because you fly around with 14 flags hanging off the back of your lifted truck.
Oh, she reading that boy mail.
Yelling yee out the window. No. Nobody's coming after these men. Literally nobody.
Said, son, you know what though? Like the liberal white boys, man, I put my money on them any day versus a MAGA dude, period. Like straight up. The bald head dude that we watched earlier that was like, I couldn't even get, I would be disgusted by a woman that was wearing MAGA even if she was a 10. I bet you he'll whoop Nick Fuentes' ass in a fight, man. Senior Nick, boy, he'll whoop the brakes off that man, bro. Real talk, man. Real talk. He got a bald head with a beard too. We got hands. We can fight. I'm not a white boy, obviously, but he got a bald head. I got a bald head. I got a beard. He got a beard. We got something in common, goddammit.
This is a message to all MAGA women. I want you to know that no matter how much you decide to hate on feminists, your husband will be in our DMs and he will be asking us to step on him because he has a fantasy of a powerful woman dominating him. When I say I get hundreds of messages like this each week, I am not exaggerating. Some of them are willing to pay very well for me to insult them or to blue pill them, which is totally fine. Everyone has their own preferences, but when they're married to you and you hate me, just know what he's doing. A lot of strong, masculine provider men don't even want that title because then sexually, they don't want to be in charge anymore. They're tired. That other role doesn't come naturally to them. And that should show you how much of the patriarchy is harmful. They don't want to play this role of your devout husband who is super masculine and macho all the time. They just want to be able to let loose. And they see feminists as a safe space to do that while ironically demeaning us online. It's because they know they're not supposed to like it and yet they are attracted to us because of the power we hold in our lives. Don't trust your MAGA husband.
Freaky man. That's what they is. Freaky ass man, bruh. I don't hear nothing, man. If you MAGA, bro, listen, bruh. I don't listen. You can get your dirt ass up on my feet. I don't care about it. She just said you's a freaky man. You like to get stepped on, humiliated. You like to watch black dudes bust your wife up. Hey, bro. Listen, I get it. I'm a handsome guy. Sex symbol even, if you will. I've had white dudes when I was bartending straight up throw their wives at me like, yeah, bro, go ahead, bust her up. Not like that, but you know how they get the real, oh my God, look at his muscles. Like dead ass serious, bro. White woman, 50 years old, rubbing on my, oh, look at his muscles, Charles. Oh my God. I bet you all of the ladies like you, huh? You don't have no, you want some of that BBC, you freak. She want that British Broadcasting Company. That's what she want, nasty woman. And the husband won't record it.
You know what I find wild and hilarious? These MAGA guys keep crying that they can't find women, as if it's some kind of feminist plot.
All right, guys, does this guy look like he's going to lose a fight to the average MAGA guy that you've seen in your life? Hell no, bro. He look like he'll choke slam the shit out of Nick.
Like, bro, it's not that deep. You're just not someone women want to be around.
That's what she said.
That's not some great mystery. It's actually pretty simple. It's not because you're conservative either. It's because you're insufferable. You've built your whole identity around being pissed off at everything around you. You think empathy is weakness. You think women owe you attention. And you confuse being loud with being a leader. That's not masculinity, dude. That is insecurity in a red hat. You walk around acting like love is something that you are entitled to just because you have a job and a pulse. Meanwhile, you guys treat women like they're second-class citizens.
What's going on with your nails,
tantrums online and call them females like you're narrating a wildlife documentary. You're not single because women are broken. You're single because you are. And the worst part, you guys are so unaware of your own self, you don't even realize it. You think women don't want you because they've been brainwashed by liberal media or some other BS. Nah, man. They just see it clearly now. They see that you've radicalized yourself into this bitter, emotionally stunted husk.
At the end of the day, dog, I think the women that follow me can admit this, right? Y'all don't generally like bitch-made dudes. As soon as you see that he ain't got nothing manly going on, like I've heard from women back in the day, you know, I've heard from women even, you know, recently, like it's certain men that basically get them going and it's never the MAGA nigga. Guys, when I used to work at certain places, dog, I noticed that it was like an avatar of man that gets all of the women that we work with. And almost always, it was like the most masculine presenting man that was quiet. I'm dead ass serious. You'll work with this dude for a year and find out he done slept with 6 or 7 of the women that work there, dog, because he's just a quiet. He don't talk about nothing. He to himself. Women like that sneaky shit. I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro. MAGA don't fit that narrative. MAGA loud. They want to be alpha males, this alpha male, that. When really and truly you a beta, bro. It's that quiet dude in the corner that don't talk that much, man. He getting all the women, bro. He don't never talk about politics. He don't talk about nothing that's gonna get them. He just mind his business and act like they don't exist. Low key, and they coming. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know how I got on there. Whatever.
Being mean makes you interesting. You scream about traditional values, but you live like a child. You want a submissive housewife, but you still live in your mom's basement surrounded by Funko Pops and empty Monster cans.
And Cheeto dust.
You can't even protect your own sense of identity, and do you think you're ready to lead a household?
No, indeed.
You guys also post selfies in the gym with captions about being an alpha, but deep down you're just another angry guy who peaked at 16 and you never recovered.
Ooh.
You think women are too demanding, but the truth is they're just not desperate like they used to.
There it is.
They have choices now, and they're choosing not to deal with your bullshit. And I get it. That kind of rejection hits differently.
It hurt, don't it?
I know.
To your core.
But instead of growing from it, you spiral. You make podcasts. You find other sad, angry men to cry with in Discord. You yell into the void about how women are damaged goods while you're over here collecting red flags like they're NFTs. And one day, when the internet gets tired of you and the algorithm stops caring, you're going to be left with nothing. No partner, no love, no legacy.
Dry.
Just bitterness, silence, and a pile of based takes.
No cutting.
You won't be remembered as strong or manly. You'll be remembered as loud and useless. So, yeah, go ahead. Keep blaming feminism. Keep blaming women, immigrants, gay people, whoever makes you feel better for a minute. But deep down, it's always been you. And you can't face that fact. And that's exactly why you'll always stay alone. You know what I find wild and hilarious?
Hey, man, that boy, dog. Listen, bro, this boy just psychoanalyzed 99% of MAGA, bro. It is what it is, goddammit. You dry, brother. You ain't gonna be getting no cutted. These women don't like y'all, bro. And this is why you got people like Senor Fuentes talking about the great replacement theory and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of, it might be real at this point, dog, because y'all women don't find y'all attractive no more. It's kind of sad, man. Ain't gonna be no back of the oven touching, boy. Ain't no babies being made, dog. You crying on the internet all day long. This, that. Man, that's gonna dry a woman up right there, boy. There.
MAGA men are not attracted to MAGA women, and that's why the uniformity exists in the MAGA women culture. That's why their clothes, their hair, their makeup, their cars, their music, their food, even down to their body sense, all are very similar. It's because they know that their subserviency is what keeps them, in play, keeps them in the game of marriage, of wifeness, of life, whatever it is to them. But MAGA men, if they are not attracted to men, they are overwhelmingly attracted to alternative women. And I say that as somebody who used to be in MAGA and as a bartender here in the South. MAGA men love alt women. They love chubbier women. They love women with yitties. They love women with thighs. They love the tattoos. They love the piercings. They love the hair. Most MAGA men are not attracted to the women that they have children and, spend the rest of their life with. They are attracted to the subservientness. And this creator that I'm going to tag underneath has done a really great job of clocking the amount of young MAGA men that have been in alternative spaces lately, hitting on women. And it's just, it's very much a full circle moment, because I've been trying to talk about this forever, and everyone who just wants to say, oh, you're being mean to women. No, these women have designed themselves to be in this certain situation. Therefore, that's the world that they live in. And, criticism is not always a bad thing.
You heard me? You understand me? Hey, listen, though, somebody in the comments said, if MAGA men were attracted to MAGA women, wait for this one, y'all, Pearl wouldn't be single. Ain't that something? Just pearly things wouldn't be single if MAGA men was actually man, bro. She kind of low-key got a face that only a mother could love. Low-key, I ain't gonna hold you. It is what it is.
Hey guys, I'm here with Shelly. Okay, Shelly's been married for 25 years, and she and her husband do not share.
Yo, I'm putting this video in here for the simple fact, this is how them white women let white dudes get away with murder, bro.
Share the same political beliefs, and we know there's a lot of you out there who are in relationships where it's been really hard. So, Shelly, tell us how this came about that you and your husband are so separate in your political beliefs right now.
So somewhere around 2016, when Trump was elected, when he would speak, he comes off as a misogynist and a racist, and it made me sick to my stomach. And I couldn't understand why my husband or my friends were supporting a man like that, because as Christians, I thought we're supposed to be kind-spirited, welcoming, not racist, not misogynistic.
Girl, half your damn family racist. That's not all. Let's be for real.
What do you think accounts for the fact that he had such a different view? Is there something going on that you think has persuaded him?
Yes, that was the eye-opening part. So a lot of conspiracy theories. I think he was reading the information or getting his information from conspiracy theorists.
This these well-kept looking white women right
when
here.
He drives a lot, and so he's constantly listening to some very right-wing speakers. And
girl, blink twice if you need help.
Lies over and over again, and we're talking years. You become brainwashed. And unfortunately, I think that's where it is.
So what do you do in your relationship now?
So we literally have to not speak about politics, but it is hard because we end up talking about politics and it becomes heated. So we've literally had to put that off the table.
She the enemy to me too.
But I must say, there are days I've laid in bed and I'm crying and feel sick to my stomach and think, oh my gosh, like how are we gonna go on? And all you can do is rely on God and pray through it and just know that we can get through this. And don't let anybody tear apart what God already gave us. He gave us a good marriage. I'm not gonna let Trump or any other speaker tear us apart. So stay strong, keep praying, and that's all we can do.
Hold on to hope, you guys. Hold on to hope.
Man, shut the hell up. You don't want to hear that shit. Man, you mean to tell me she won't bring God into the equation? Man, God ain't had nothing to do with bringing that racist piece of dirty shit to your damn life. It ain't had nothing to do with it. You want to stay married to that racist bigot. That's what it is. You like that shit, goddammit. Get your juices flowing. I ain't going for it, bro. You ain't gonna pull no wool over my eyes. You understand me? I'm somebody child, goddammit. I'ma holler at y'all on the next one, bro. It says,
hype me up. Hype me up.